talk about one of the biggest economic stories happening on the entire planet, the future of India's workforce. It's this incredible story of a huge demographic advantage meeting some very real modern challenges. And we're going to explore exactly how India is trying to navigate this absolutely pivotal moment.
Okay, let's just jump right in. We're going to start with a number, and it's a big one, 56 crore. Now, for anyone not familiar, that is 560 million people. I mean, think about that for a second. This isn't just some statistic on a page. It's a human scale that's, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. And that is the raw potential we're talking about, the fuel for India's entire economic engine.
You see, that massive pool of working-age people creates what economists call a demographic dividend. It's basically the economic supercharge a country can get when there are more people working than not. But take a look at the timeline. For India, this window of maximum opportunity, it's expected to peak right around 2030. That's really not very far away at all.
But here's the thing. Unlocking that dividend, it's not automatic, not by a long shot. It really all depends on tackling the real-world hurdles that workers are facing today. So let's zoom in on two of the most critical challenges that are defining the modern Indian workplace right now.
First up, the female workforce. And this chart, wow, it's really fascinating. Take a look. A massive 71.7% of women are self-employed or helping out in family businesses. So what does that tell you? It points to this huge overwhelming need, or maybe a preference, for work that's flexible.
So why is there such an intense need for that flexibility? Well, this quote from the 2024 Time Use Survey just gets right to the heart of it. It talks about the dual burden of work on female participants. This isn't just about having a job, right? It's about balancing paid work with a whole other set of unpaid responsibilities.
And this bar chart lays that dual burden out in just stark numbers. On average, women spend 363 minutes a day on unpaid activities, caregiving, household chores, all of it. And for men, just 123 minutes. That gap, that's not just a number. It's a real structural barrier that directly shapes how, when, and even if women can join the paid workforce.
But here's the twist in the story. Despite these really significant hurdles, the progress is just undeniable. The female labor force participation rate has surged to 41.7%. Now, to put that into perspective, just 6 years ago, it was sitting at only 23.3%. That is a monumental shift, and it signals a huge leap in economic empowerment for millions. Okay, now let's move on to our second major theme, and it actually builds directly on that idea of flexibility we were just talking about, the rise of the gig economy. This isn't just some passing trend. It is a fundamental rewriting of the rules of work for millions and millions of Indians.
And right at the very heart of the gig economy is this central question. Does it represent the ultimate freedom to choose when and how you work, or does it create a whole new kind of insecurity? This is the tension that policymakers and workers themselves are grappling with every single day.
Let's just look at the trade-offs side by side. A regular salary job, it usually comes with a safety net, right? Social security, fixed hours, paid leave. Now look over at gig work. You gain those self-determined hours and task-based pay, but you often lose those crucial protections. It's a really high-stakes balancing act.
And the scale of this shift is just explosive. In only 4 years, the number of gig workers in India has jumped from 77 lakh to a staggering 120 lakh. That's 12 million people. That's not just growth, that's a tectonic shift, and it's being driven by technology and totally new ideas about what work even is.
But that explosive growth comes with a major catch: income stability. As you can see here, about 40% of gig workers are earning less than 15,000 rupees a month. For a whole lot of people, this really highlights the daily challenge of financial insecurity in this super fast-growing sector.
So given these massive shifts, the incredible rise of female participation, and this gig economy boom, how is policy trying to keep up? Let's take a look at the new framework being forged to address the future of work.
So a huge piece of this new framework is a massive effort to just simplify things. I mean, India took this tangled web of 29 different labor laws and boiled them down into just 4, much more streamlined codes. And the goals here are pretty clear. Make it easier for businesses to actually operate, empower female workers with safer conditions, and this is a big one, for the very first time, officially recognize gig workers within the Social Security system. And the projected impact of all this? It's huge. By cutting through all that red tape and encouraging more formal hiring, estimates suggest these new codes could help generate around 7.7 million new formal jobs. The idea is pretty simple, really. Simpler rules should lead to more jobs.
But new rules, well, they're only half the battle. You also need the right players for the game. The other really critical piece of the puzzle is skilling, and the entire philosophy here is shifting from just training people to making sure they have the right skills for this new economy. And this table here shows that strategic pivot perfectly. You see, the old focus was all on outputs, how many people enrolled, how many certificates were printed out. But the new focus is all about outcomes. Did that person get a quality job? Are their earnings actually growing over time? It's a fundamental shift from valuing sheer quantity to demanding real quality.
And look, this isn't just some theory. We can actually see it working in the real world. The state of Odisha offers a brilliant playbook with its Fix, Scale, Accelerate strategy. They completely reinvented their old training institutes. They scaled up high-quality, short-term training, and they built world-class advanced centers. It's a fantastic model for how to get this right.
So, when you put it all together, the new labor laws, the focus on female participation, and the strategic shift in skilling, it all points toward a single, really ambitious national vision.
That vision is known as Viksit Bharat 2047, a developed India by its 100th year of independence. And notice what's right at the very core of this vision. The goal explicitly places women's participation as central to the national development agenda. It's about building an economy that is not just bigger, but one that is fundamentally more inclusive and more resilient for everybody.
Which really leaves us with this one final, powerful question. It's the thread that ties everything we've just talked about together. How do you take a nation's greatest resource, which is its people, and turn it into its greatest strength? Finding the answer to that is what's going to define India's future for decades to come.